investors, and every property that I submit to them, I always keep a log, and I make that property one of my favorite properties until it's sold. And I've had in the past where that bottom line I submitted, you know, my offer is higher. Why did they go with, you know, a lower price offer? And just recent as a month ago, it was like almost $26,000 less on a short sale. So
I want them to comment on this. Hold on.
I said, Jesus.
Let me make sure I understand your comment or question. You're talking about a situation, let's say if the property is listed for $100,000.
Okay.
There's a highest and best went in, and let's say your client went all the way up to 126.
And this wasn't a highest and best situation. It was.
Okay.
It was not highest and best. It was highest and best. I guess my point was when Stacey said they usually take the bottom line. My offer was like $26,000 more. It was a short sale, but then in the past I've had some
Your offer of $26,000 more was not accepted?
Well, let me tell you something. Let me back up.
No. Let's not get too much detail. Right. We want to keep it moving. I'm just trying to understand. Are you saying you're in a situation, for example, a $100,000 house or whatever, your offer was for more, and it was not accepted? It was
the asking price. It was the asking price. And it came in, when I watched it when it closed, it closed for like $26,000 less.
Okay, and you want to know, that was kind of strange to you, why the property closed for $26,000 less than you offered. You want to respond?
You know, there could be a lot of mitigating circumstances, but the main thing that I typically see with that is you don't know what the appraisal came in at and if they reduced the price to match the appraisal. Typically, a lot of times when we start off at one price and we close at another price that's significantly lower, there's an appraisal that came in that the seller had to reduce down the appraised value.
But that listing agent actually said, well, can your buyer come up to like 169?
It could have been at the front end.
Okay, so we don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that complicated transaction. Okay, right here. Okay, I've seen this happen in the past, and investors try to be slick, and this will not work in your favor. Oftentimes, highest and best go down. An agent will try to shoot way over just to try to get the deal. Oftentimes, sellers they're not going to bite that.
It's on the occupant.
Okay, I'm not talking about your situation. If a house is listed for 100, you're told there's multiple offers, and your investor think they're going to offer 150 because he knows he's going to blow everybody out the water, more than likely it's not going to get accepted. Okay? Client has appraisals. The client has done a lot of due diligence. We know what the strategy is because what the investor wants to do is get his 150 accepted, go into a due diligence term, and try to negotiate and back down that deal. We know that that's a strategy that buyer agents and investors use. You guys know this, right? They're smart. Their asset managers are smart. A lot of them are former real estate agents, and some of them have been investors and who are sitting on the other side of the table. They know those kind of games. Okay. Are we clear on multiple offers?
I have a question, Jeff.
Okay.
To the panel, what happens when you guys receive multiple offers? You give them the time period, whether it's 24 hours, 48 hours, or whatever. You receive another offer during that time that you're waiting on the responses back. Do you start it over, or do you just tell that person, send your highest and best if I've got to send these in by such and such a time? Do you understand my question?
Mike, you want to handle that?
See how hard it gets? So, you know, what I hear a lot is the frustration that comes from a lack of transparency, right? Did my offer get accepted? Did my offer get submitted? Why did somebody else get it? I can't tell. We offered more. To answer your question, we have a best and highest deadline. Let's say that it was 1 o'clock today. At 1:05, we get another offer in. We've already submitted the best and highest, but we haven't gotten an answer back from the seller. Right. Now we've got another offer that comes in. Yeah. You know? I mean, what we do is we go to that new offer and we tell them what the situation is, and we tell them to get their best and highest in as quickly as possible, and then we'll go ahead and submit the offer that we have in hand. Under one guiding principle, we submit all offers. Joanne, do we chant this? We chant this in our office. We submit all offers. So in that case, the new offer that we've gotten in, we're going to submit it. Now, how diligent that agent is in getting a revised offer into us before the seller responds, that's up to that agent. But we'll try to help them to the degree that we can.
And also bear this in mind is that, I can say this, I see your hand, Sharon. I think law requires that we submit all offers, right?
That's right.
Okay. And so what Mike said is true. Although a seller may tell us a deadline is 1 o'clock, and you send your offer in at 1:05 or even 3 o'clock or the next day, oftentimes an REO broker will still submit that offer to the seller because we're obligated to do so. They've told us the deadline was cut off right here. We let the seller know we're required to submit all offers. You make a decision as to whether the offer that came in after the deadline cut off is an offer that you'll deal with. But I can almost promise you, REO broker is not going to not submit your offer. Is that fair to say? Okay. Sharon?
Jeff, I was just trying to get clarity on what Mike said. Did I understand you to say that if the deadline has passed, that you still allow that offer that comes in to give you a highest and best?
We submit all offers. So it gets really, I mean, it's a complicated situation, and that's how we simplify it, is if a best and highest deadline was 1 o'clock today, by 1 o'clock today, we're submitting all the best and highest offers that we've received. If you submitted an original offer and you didn't upgrade it, then your original offer stays on the table and that gets submitted. At 1:05 today, if we get a brand new offer in, we're submitting that, and we're telling that agent that we're past the best and highest deadline, and if you want to revise your offer, I'd do so right away.
But is that fair to the other buyers that had to cut off at 1 o'clock?
You know who thinks it's not fair is all the people that don't get the property. So, this is where we can't win this game. One person's going to be happy, and everybody else is going to think that I've got a buyer's agent and they're getting the property. All we care about is making sure that the seller has every offer that we have and giving the agents as much information as we're allowed to give them. If you ask me how many multiple offers I have, I'm not going to tell you. It's none of your business. We have more than one. That's our answer. Here's your deadline, and then we'll do everything we can to help you. But we will submit every offer we get.
Can I complicate this thing a little bit more?
Okay.
I agree with that. My only concern is that we are a listing broker as well, and any offers that we get in after that deadline, that offer goes to the seller. And we put in the comments that this offer came in after the deadline. We
That's
don't
right.
go back and give that buyer an opportunity to give another offer. That is the offer that goes in.
Okay.
Okay. Microphone is being complicated.
Yeah, if I could complicate this thing a little bit further, and what Mike said about as far as people that are unhappy, I could tell you a couple instances to where there's been some really strange things that make people have become really very unhappy. In sending in those offers after the fact, because we are complying with the rules and sending in the offer. I've had a couple situations to where the next day, the asset manager, who gave me a verbal and even something in an email stating he was going to accept a certain offer, but we never got the signed contract or the binding agreement. They then changed their mind. I've already called that agent, shown that agent that email. Everybody's running to the bank. And guess what happened? So you talk about unhappy people. Of course, it's all my fault. I submitted all offers. But there's no perfect box here. Going into no perfect box as far as, like Stacy's saying, bottom line is that is very important, but there's always a mitigating circumstance. Was it cash? What is it? This asset manager's bonus is based on him closing by the 31st, and this deal here, yeah, it's gonna net a little bit less, but it's closing early. You know, I mean, it's not all, everything's not all, you know, very compartmentalized here.
Okay, I'm reading from questions that people sent in. A lot of questions about this offer. A lot of questions. Mike commented, we're not obligated to disclose how many multiple offers, just to tell you there are multiple offers. Okay. We already went over, we cannot tell you the purchase price of the other offers. You couldn't say that, right? Another frustrating question. Why does it take so long to get a response from the seller? Anybody ever read into that?
Yes.
I talked to agents that I put an offer in, and it's been a week, 2 weeks, no answer.
They give us 24 hours.
Give us comments. Why it takes so long?
Each client is different, and you have to understand that there's another person on the other side of the deal that's making a decision. Each asset manager is different. Everybody has a different way that they work. So some may work quickly depending on how many files they get. And I think another thing that the agents don't understand, we just put the information into a computer. We take the information from whatever you sent in on your offer form, and we're just putting numbers into a computer. We put it in the system, and then the other side of that computer, there's somebody going through that.
Whoa. So the seller doesn't see my offer?
Absolutely not.
Did you know that? The offer that you filled out, that you got your beautiful John Hancock on, that is not what's submitted to the seller.
No,
Okay.
all we do is data entry. We take your information from that offer, put it in the computer, and they're just looking at numbers in the computer. That's all. That's why I say, you know, they're looking at what's on the bottom line. So they're looking at those numbers. Like I said, each person is different. And sometimes a new thing that happens now is they have what they call MI approval, mortgage insurance approval. So sometimes there's another step that has to happen where they have to go back to the client and get a mortgage company to approve that offer. So sometimes I'm waiting on a MI approval right now on an offer, on a multiple offer situation, and he picked one of the offers, and it's been 7 days and we're still waiting on MI.
Okay. Anybody else want to comment on this issue of frustration? Okay, hold on, that's a good answer. I'm gonna take a question right here.
Does it depend, when you input data, is it indicated cash offer or finance?
Absolutely.
But one of the things that is not indicated, when you do these supplemental pages
Yes.
to tell me why you're submitting this low offer because you saw water coming down through whatever, you know. That's trash. I have nowhere in my system to input such information.
They already know. They know that anyway, right?
However-
The agents know that, I mean, they know that.
However,
That's why they have
now,
the
if you're the
process.
selling agent, that's important to you. Because you know that your buyer is submitting this low offer because of all that water in the basement.
But they know that.
And you're sitting there saying to yourself, the seller probably would consider this crazy price incentive if they knew this water was in the basement. Why would you not communicate that? It's not that the listing broker's not communicating it.
The seller,
No, it's not.
the price is based on that, isn't it?
Anybody want to comment? In most cases, I can tell you this now, whatever conditions you see,
They know.
they know about it.
Exactly.
Because we, the listing broker, through their team of people that they're working with, have sent that seller tons of photos in terms of what's going on with the property. Okay, they have that documentation. In fact, the last thing we want to happen on the listing broker side is for that to come out and we have not communicated that to the seller. But that's almost a guaranteed loss of business from that client.
man to man is so unjust. Children